Hello everyone, welcome to Talk Mathematics. So I am starting with a new playlist in which I will be explaining the Matlab codes for different maths problems. So before starting with the codes, you need to know few basics of Matlab which I will be discussing in this video. So this is the screen for online Matlab software. You can use online as or offline as your wish. So by default the Matlab layout is like this. It may be chances that your layout may be little bit different, but the basics are same. That this is the editor window where you will type your code here. This is the command window, so when you will run the code your output will be seen in the command window. This is the file section where all the files you have saved are appearing here. The Matlab extension is .m, so my file name is practice.m, and this workspace contains the list of all the variables which you have used in your code, and its value, its size, and the name appears here in the workspace. So basically Matlab screen consists of four things: editor, command window, files, and workspace. After that we have tabs here like home tab, plots, apps, and editor. So you can click on the new button here and then new script for your new file, or you can click on this plus icon which is appearing here for the new document, and then you can save your document with the extension .m. So I have already saved my document with the name practice.m. Okay, so let us begin. So when I write the code, like suppose x is equals to 4, okay, then to run it you can click on the run button. In the editor tab you have run button, or you can press the F5 shortcut key from your keyboard. So when I run this, you can see in the command window, first of all the name of your file appears. The name of my file is practice, and then whatever you have written that appears. So x is equals to 4. Then in the workspace you can see, I told you in the workspace there is the list of variables you have used in the code. So right now I have used only one variable, which the name is x, and its value is 4, and its size is 1 cross 1. The full form of Matlab is Matrix Laboratory. So it learns everything in the form of matrix. So here also when I have written x is equals to 4, it learns this 4 value in the form of matrix. So in matrix it is 1 column and 1 row. So that's why the size is 1 cross 1. Okay. So here I can write another variable like y is equals to 2. And again I can run it. I'm pressing the shortcut key. Then here in the workspace you can see the x value appears 4, y appears 2. And in the command window when you have run it, again the name of your file appears and whatever you have written that appears. Now suppose I introduce z is equals to x plus y. Now when I run it, again the value of x appears, then value of y appears, then value of z appears, which is x plus y, 4 plus 2, which is 6. Now I don't want the value of x and y to appear again in the command window. I just want the output for z. So what I can do is I can apply the semicolon after the line, and when you can see when you run it, then after you have run the name of your file appears. So this is the latest run, and you can see only the value of z appears in the output. So what does semicolon do? So it stores the variable in the memory of Matlab, because you can see in the workspace x and y are there in the memory of Matlab in this code, but with using semicolon the line does not get printed in the output section. Okay. Now in the command window you can see whenever you have run the code, every time the output has appeared in the command window, it's making a list of each and every run. So if you want to clear the command window, you have to write the code as CLC. Okay, and when you will run it, you can see your command window gets cleared. CLC does not mean that it has the Matlab has forgotten the values of x, y, and z. As you can see in the workspace, x, y, z are already variables present. So you can see by calling the z variable, and you can see z appears to be 6. So CLC just clears the command window, it does not clears the predefined variables. Okay, then another command is clear all command. So what does clear all means? Clear all means to clear everything. It will clear the workspace, means now it does not have any value of x, y and z. So when I'll call z variable, it says error and unrecognized function or variable z. After clear all, it has cleared the memory, no variables are present after this. So it has forgotten the value of z. So now suppose I write one calculation 2 plus 6, and when I run it, you can see your answer appears 8. But as you can see, you have not given any name to this calculation. You have not given any variable name here. So by default, the variable name comes to be answer, which is ans. So by default, the 8 value is saved in the variable name ans because you have not given any name here. So it is very important to define the variable name for each and every calculation you do. And you know that the variable name should always start with an alphabet. It should not start with any digit or a special character. Okay. Also, the comments in Matlab are given by using the percentage sign. You know what are comments. So comments are the things which do not gets run in the when you run the code. It's just for your knowledge. Like if using percentage sign, if I write 5 into 2 and when I run this, you can see only 2 plus 6 answer appears here, which is 8. This 5 into 2 does not get run. Now another thing here is the format thing. We can use format short. Like if you want to do the calculation x is equals to 1 upon 6. Okay. So you want to do this, the format short, what will do is it will give you the answer with the 4 decimal places, up to 4 decimal places, format short. The same thing if I do with format long and run it, it will give the output with more decimal places. You can see here 1 upon 6. Okay. Now if you don't want to convert this into the decimal, you can use format RAT, that stands for rational. So when you will run it, now you can see the value of x appears as 1 upon 6 only. Now let us see how to print your messages. So to print the line here, you need to write fprintf command, then within the round brackets and within inverted commas you can type your message. Suppose I want to type here hello. Now when I run this, you can see after running my practice, hello appears here in the output. Okay. Now if I write another message here fprintf and I write here Matlab, and when I run it, you can see here hello and Matlab appears in the same line. So if you want that Matlab should appear in the next line, what you have to do, after the first line, when you want to change the line, you have to type here /n. Okay. Now when you will run this, now you can see hello and Matlab appears in next line. Okay. Within this, suppose if I define a variable a whose value is 3. Okay. Now I write fprintf and now I want that in my message the value of a is, now I want after is the whatever the value of a is should come here. So what I'll do is I'll write %d here, and after inverted commas I'll put a comma and write a. So at the position of %d, a's value will appear here. So let me run it. So here you can see the output that the value of a is 3. So %d is for writing the integer value. Okay. Now if suppose a value is some decimal. So what you will do, write, suppose I want to write here now b value. So b value is 1.3. Now you have, what you will do, you will write fprintf the value of b is, now instead of %d you will use %f. F stands for float, that means with a decimal value. Now I'll write here comma b. Okay, this is for writing float. So when I'll run it, you can see the value of b is 1.30. Okay, now if you want to write, suppose the value of b is 1.375 like this, but you want only the value up to 3 decimal places. Okay, so what you can write here, you can write here %.3f, that it will give your value up to only 3 decimal places. So let us see. So you can see here the value of b is 1.3777 up to 3 decimal places. Okay, if you want up to 4 decimal places, you can write here 4 and so on. Okay. You can also print 2 or more variables like this also. So what you can do is, you can write, suppose a value is 2 and b value is 3. Now you need to print both the values. So you will write fprintf the value of a is, now you want here should appear the value of a, and value of b is, now here you want value of b to appear. Then you write comma a and comma b. So by default the first %d will have a value, and the second %d wherever you have used will have b value. So when I have run it, you can see the value of a is 2 and the value of b is 3. It has appeared like this. So I have told you, like %d is for integers. I have told you that %f is for floats. Okay. Next we have %.2f is for up to 2 decimal places. If you want your number to appear up to 2 decimal places, then you can use .2f, or you can use .3f to appear for 3 decimal places. Then you can use %g. You can try this for removing zeros at the back. Okay, so if you have the number written as 1.3000, so the zeros at the end have no value, so it will remove this. You can then try %c for any character. If you have saved a variable under character, %s for string. Okay, so you can try these. Next is, the Matlab follows the board mass rule. So suppose you have written x is equals to 2 plus 5 into 3. So you don't have to put the brackets here. It will by default solve this by using the board mass rule. Okay, we can see the answer, which is 17. Okay, now let us see how to write the matrix of higher orders here. So you have to write the matrix within the square brackets. So you have to write the matrix row wise. So first of all, write the first row. Suppose I am writing a 3 cross 3 matrix. So let me write the first row. The first row is 1, 2 and 3. So you have to give the space in between. For going to the next column, you have to type space. Now this is my first row. For second row, now for another row you have to write semicolon. Semicolon means to go on to the next row. So next row has 4, 5 and 6. Okay, then suppose you have now next row, third row, which is 7, 8 and 9. Okay, now you can run it and see. So A matrix is like this. First row has 1, 2 and 3. Then semicolon means next row. next row has 4, 5 and 6, then semicolon means next row again, then 7, 8 and 9. Okay, now you can type as many spaces as you want. There is no hard and fast rule for typing only one space between them. You can run again and see the matrix will be same. Okay, now in the workspace also you can see the size of this matrix appears as 3 cross 3 matrix. Now let us remove one row. Now when you will run it, you can see now the size has become 2 cross 3. So 2 is for rows and 3 is for columns. Okay, so you can then write suppose size, then in brackets you can write A. So what it will give you the number of rows and columns. So the first one will be number of rows is 2 and number of columns is 3. Okay, so you can write size A comma 1. So size A gives number of rows and columns. Size A comma 1 and see it will only give you the number of rows. Okay, so if you want to see how many rows are there in my matrix, so you can write size A comma 1, it will give the number of rows. Then you can write size A comma 2, it will give you the number of columns. You have to look it into this like the first one is always rows and the second one is always column. When you write the size also, the first is rows and the second is column. So you can see size A comma 2, the answer will be 3 because it has 3 columns. Then what you can do is you can see the total number of elements present. So NUMEL, the number of elements present in A matrix. So it will give you the total elements present in A. The answer is 6 because we have 6 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So now let us write another matrix. Suppose write the B matrix. Okay. Now I could change the A matrix from only for one row A matrix. Now I can write B matrix. I want only one single column. Okay, so I can write as 1 colon 2 colon 3. So this is A matrix is one single row and B matrix is column. I can remove this. I can run it and you can see here how is A matrix is one row and B matrix is one column, because semicolon means to go in the next row. You can also type enter here after semicolon. Okay, it will hardly change anything. Using this, your code might look more clearer to you. From the code only you can make out that how my B matrix is this. I can run again and see A is one row and B is one column. Okay, you can do addition and subtraction of the matrices like A minus B and A plus B as you do. Now let us look into the multiplication. So when I write A star B, so you know A matrix is 1 cross 3 and B matrix is 3 cross 1. So yes, you can multiply these two matrices. So when I run this, you will get the answer as 14. So star means it will multiply, matrix multiplication will happen. You know, we have special multiplication in matrix. What it does, row wise and column wise. So first row and first column. So what has happened here, 1 is multiplied with 1, then plus 2 is multiplied with 2, then plus 3 is multiplied with 3, and then the answer has appeared here. Okay, so if I convert this B matrix, B is a column matrix, into a row matrix 1, 2 and 3 only. Okay, and then I run this, you will get an error. Why? Because A matrix is 1 cross 3 and B matrix is also 1 cross 3. You can see from here. And now you can see A column and B row should be same. But here it is 3 and here it is 1. So you cannot multiply this. Okay. So matrix multiplication is not possible in this case. But if you want to multiply element wise, like you want to multiply 1 with 1, then 2 with 2 and 3 with 3, and you want the answer, so what you can do is you can put a dot before star, and this will not be matrix multiplication, it will be element wise multiplication. So let us run this. Now you can see the answer is 1, 4 and 9. What happened? 1 is multiplied with 1, the answer is 1. Then 2 is multiplied with 2, the answer is 4. 3 is multiplied with 3 and the answer is 9. Okay. So you should use dot star when you want to do the multiplication element wise, and use just star when you want to do the multiplication matrix multiplication. So let us see few more results. So suppose my A matrix is again 2 rows, I'll get to another row. Another row is 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So my A matrix is 2 cross 3 matrix, 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay. So you know that in matrix each element has a name. So this is 1 1 element, this is 1 2 element, this is 1 3 element, this is 2 1 element, this is 2 2 element, and this is 2 3 element. Okay. So if you want to pick any specific element, you can just simply write capital A and then in brackets as firstly the which row you want. Suppose I want this 1. Okay. So this is first row, so I will write 1, then comma, this 1 is first column, so in place of column also I'll write 1. Okay. So first one is for row and second is for column. So when you will write 1 comma 1, the answer will be 1. Okay. So I am picking the 1 comma 1 position, the answer is 1. Suppose I want to pick 2 comma 1 position, then the answer will be 4, because 2 comma 1 is this position, second row and first column. Okay. So I can write here, you should write always A, then bracket, the first should be the row number, comma, then next should be the column number. Okay. Now suppose if you want to write the full first row, okay, each and every element of first row, so instead of row you will write 1, because you want first row, you want this. Okay. Now columns, you want each and every column present in this matrix, so in place of column you will write a colon symbol. Okay. Now let us run this and see. Now the first row has appeared, 1 2 and 3. Suppose you want second row, so you will write 2. Okay. Now the second row has appeared, 4 5 6. Okay. Similarly, if you want first column, so in place of column you will write 1. In place of row you want each and every row, so you will write the colon symbol here, dot dot. So this will give you full first column. Okay. Suppose you want third column, so you can write 3 in place of column, then you can see the third column. So the third column 3 6 has appeared here. Next up, you know that when you work with matrices, identity matrix has a lot of use. So what you can do is you can write identity matrix by the shortcut is EYE, and then in brackets the number or the order for identity matrix. So when you will run this, identity of 3 cross 3 will appear. This is for identity matrix of order 3 cross 3. Okay. If you want identity matrix of 2 cross 2 order, so simply write 2. Okay. You can also write here 5 for 5 cross 5 order, and so on. Right. Now if you want to write a diagonal matrix, suppose I want to write B matrix, so the one way is this only. You can write 1 0 0, then you in the next row you want 0 2 0, then in another next row you want 0 0 3. So this will also give you the diagonal matrix B. like this. But another shortcut way of writing this B matrix could be, you can write DIAG for diagonal, and then you can write the elements you want on the diagonal. Suppose you want now 4, 5 and 6 on the diagonal. Okay, so you can write the shortcut as this. When you will run it, you will get like this, 4, 5, 6 on the diagonal. Also, there are various commands for matrices, like A dash is for transpose, INVA is for getting the inverse of the matrix, and A divided by B, A multiply B you have already done. Then determinant is find out by DET of A to find the determinant. Okay, then rank is for RAN bracket A, this is for rank. So suppose I have one number x is equals to 4. Okay, so what it does, it assigns x variable value as 4. Now if I write x double is equals to 4, so what double is equals to means? It means it is asking a question, it is comparing the value of x with 4, and it is asking the question that whether x value is 4, yes or no. Okay, so the first one is for assigning, to assign, and the second one is for to compare and ask. So when I run this, first x is equals to 4, the value x value is assigned 4. Now next, in the next line, the question is asked that whether x is equals to 4, whether x value is 4. So the MATLAB gives the logical answer. So 1 stands for true and 0 stands for false. Okay, so here I can write 1 stands for true and 0 for false. So the question was asked whether x value is 4, the answer was yes, so it has given the answer as 1. So if I ask him whether x value is 6, x value has assigned to before, now I ask whether x value is 6. When I run this, now the logical answer is 0, that no, x value is not 6. Okay, now let us see in the form of matrices what this double is equal to does. Suppose we have A matrix as 1, 2, 3. Next column we have 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if I ask capital A double is equals to suppose 4. So now you can see it gives the logical answer for each and every position. For this position, 1 cross 1 position, 1, 1 position. So it has asked whether 4 is present in this position. The answer is no. So that's why the 0 here appears. Then this is 1, 2 position. So at 1, 2 also 4 is not present. So 0, 0. So 4 is present at 2, 1 position. So at 2, 1 it has written the answer as 1. So suppose if we had 2 4s in the matrix, then it has given 2, it would have appeared 1, 1 on these 2 positions. Okay, now let us see the sequences, the role of sequences. Suppose you want to write the counting from 1 to 10. So what you can do is, instead of writing 1, 2, 3 and all, you can write 1, then colon, then 10. So by default, the counting appears with 1 gap, like after 1, 2 appears. So if you want 2 gaps, gap of 2, 2. So what you can do is you can write 1, then 2 and then 10. So the middle one is for gap, first one is for starting and the last one is for ending. Okay, so what you have to do, the starting of the sequence, then there is gap and then there is ending. Okay, so if you want a lower gap like 0.5 gap, so you can write 0.5 like this. Now you can see. So in the beginning we have used format rad, so that's why the values are appearing in the form of fractions. So if you don't want the values in the form of fractions, you can use format short, and then when you will again run it, now you can see these values will come in the form of points, decimals. Now let us see few basics for plotting. So suppose you want the graph of y is equals to x square. You want this graph. So whenever you want any graph and you would draw any graph with your hand also, the first thing you do is to specify the x values. So here also firstly we'll specify the x values. So x, let us define the domain. Now I want the x values from 1 2 3 like so on. So I can write the domain from 1 to 10. So x is 1 2 3 4 like this. So now for each and every x we'll calculate the value of y. Now if you write y is equals to x star x, you can see it will show error. Let us see, let us run this. An error has appeared. Why? Because you can see here x is here 1 cross 10 matrix and y is 1 cross 10 into 1 cross 10. Okay, we are multiplying x with x, but you can see here the column and row is not same, so we cannot matrix multiply x with x. So matrix multiplication is not possible. So what multiplication you have to do? You have to do the element wise multiplication. So after writing y is equals to x dot star x, now error will not appear. So you can see x values are 1 to 10 like this and y values are like this. Okay, so now you want to plot this, so you can simply write plot x comma y. You can see by default the figure will come under the name figure 1, and this is the figure that has appeared. Now if you can see here the graphs appears from 1. So if you want the second quadrant also for the negative x value also, so you can simply change here with minus 10. So it will give the output from the domain will be minus 10 to 10. So the output has appeared like this. Okay. Now you can see these values x and y values are appearing in the command window also. So if you don't want to write this, you can use semicolon. Okay. Now you can increase the gap also, like decrease the gap also. Gap could be 0.5. Then also a similar graph will appear, but it would be more smooth. It will be more smooth. Okay. Now you can do the labeling on the graph, like you can write x-axis labeling with using the command x label, then brackets the values of x. You can write whatever you want to be appeared in the on the x-axis. Then you can use y label to write whatever you want to write in the y-axis. Squared values. You can run this and in the graph you can see x and y axis has now labeling. Now you can give the title of this graph using title. Title appears square graph. Okay. Now in the similar way you can draw any of the graphs, sin x graph, exponential graph like this. Okay. Now let us draw sin x graph. So for this you have to change just y. You can write here sin of x. Now let us see what appears. So the graph appears like this. So you can see the sharp lines here because our gap is very small. The gap is of 0.5. So to get the more smooth graph, you can also decrease the gap. So what you can do is you can decrease the gap. Now you can see a better or smoother graph has appeared. Okay. You can also write the domain in the form of pi. You can also write here like the domain should be pi to minus pi to pi. Minus pi to pi. So the graph appears like this from minus pi to pi. Here also the sharp lines appears because the gap is very large, so you need to decrease the gap. So gap, let us take 0.005. So now you can get a smooth graph. Okay, similarly you can draw the exponential graph using the code exp. Okay, now then suppose you have to draw two lines on the same graph. So let us come back to our previous domain from minus 10 to 10. Okay, so y is x square. Okay, now let us take another y1, which is suppose 3 into x. So now I have two lines, one is x and y and one is. Now I want to plot first x and y, and on the same graph I want to plot y1 also. So how you will write the plot? You will write plot x comma y, then comma, then another graph you want x with y1. So like this, run it, and now you can see in your graph two lines have appeared. First x and y, blue line, and then x and y1 graph with red line. Okay, you can also write legends here to denote that which color gives which line. So you can write legend, then the first legend should be separated with second legend using comma. First legend would be by default for x and y graph. So x and y graph is for squared value, so legend will be squared. Okay, then x and y1, the legend for this second part will appear in the second after comma. So this is 3x graph. Okay, so legend appears, the blue line is for squared and red line is for 3 into x. Okay, you can also change the color, like here only when you have plot x comma y, you write here comma, and within inverted commas write the color you want. Okay, so for black, for different colors there are different codes. For blue the code is B, for red the code is R, for black the code is K. Okay, and for green the code is G. So you can write the code here. So now when you will run it, you will see that x and y graph has appeared with the color black, and x and y1 graph has appeared with the color green. Okay, you can also change the style of your line, whether you want a smooth line or dashed line. So before writing the color, you can mention here the style. So you can use dashed line before the color code, so dashed line appears. You can use symbol O here for getting rounded lines like this. So let us try making a pie chart. Suppose x has values 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and y has values 50, 35, 6, 78, 32, and now I want to draw the pie chart. So what you will write, pie, then in brackets x comma y, then you can run it, and you can see the pie chart has appeared. Like this only you can also plot the bar chart between x and y. You can see the bar chart has appeared. Okay, so that's all with a brief introduction of Matlab and the basics that you need to know for starting coding in Matlab for mathematical problems. So you know that Matlab has a vast collection of syntaxes, and this video provides just the beginning to start your coding for maths questions. So further in the playlist you can find the step-by-step detailed explanation of codes for maths problems. Thank you for watching.